Inspiration, education, action. This is the Seeds to Success Show with Ben Godinez on Money 105.5.
Stop eating and driving. I know baguettes food tastes good, but it's better and safer if you eat it in the restaurant. Welcome to the Seeds to Success Show. I am your host and Insurance 101 guy, Ben Godinez with Gateway Insurance Group. Thank you so much for tuning in here today. I appreciate every single one of our listeners and viewers tuning in here and trying to learn and pursue their passion. And that's what we're talking about here today, is pursuing your passion. And I am privileged to have baguettes here in the studio here today to talk about pursuing your passion. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
So I've got Alex, who is the heir to Baguettes, the daughter of the owner, Paula, here, and Teddy, the close family friend of Baguettes. We're going to get into them in just a moment. If you're watching this in post-production, either on YouTube or on the Ben Godinez YouTube channel, the Seeds to Success playlist, or on Facebook, you're probably noticing the high-quality video production that's being done here today with the spliced editing, so you can see the double views and all of that. Yes, that's because I've hired Keith Halterman with Go View This Home Video Productions to come in the studio and make this look beautiful, opposed to me spending 10 hours of my time doing it behind the scenes. So for those of you guys listening on the air here, you guys can view this within the next 48 hours because of the work that Keith puts in and the company. So actually, Go View This Home primarily does real estate marketing videos. If you want to list your home or you want to go see a home without physically driving to it, they do a step-by-step video, HD quality, voice-over production. That they do all in-house from top to bottom. They have the lowest prices and the highest quality in the greater Sacramento area. So you'll be seeing more of them here on the studio. I thank you guys for being here. All right, well, let's dig in here to pursuing your passion. I've brought these guys in because I have been a fan of baguettes for many years, for about 5 years, I think. When did you guys actually open it?
I think it was 2012,
2012,
actually.
4 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. 4 or 5, might have been 2011, actually.
Yeah.
Might have been 5.
I remember I moved up here in 2011, and I remember this was one of my first spots that I ever went. It was a local friend of mine that was like, I got to take you to this spot. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, take me anywhere, man. I'm all into supporting local businesses. And he takes me to this hole-in-the-wall closet that he calls a restaurant. There's a line about 15 people long, and it literally looks like just like your kitchen at your house, but that's the entire restaurant. And it was just this little place at the corner of, it was like Elk Grove Boulevard. And
yeah, it was Elk Grove Florin and off of Bond. Yeah, it's 500 square feet. We were all tangled up on each other, so it was a tight spot.
Yeah, but I fell in love the very first day. Their food was fantastic, and I've watched them grow into now a beautiful restaurant that literally shows your guys' vision. So before we get into all of that, Alex, tell us a little bit about who you are and kind of what your role is with Baguettes.
Well, I am the daughter of Paula and Larry, the princess to Baguettes, as you would say. I am my mom's right-hand man. I take care of the business when she's not there and, try to get her to have a day off, but
good luck.
She doesn't doesn't take many days off, but I'm in school for business management, so I'm hoping to own and run a couple of hundred of these one day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you guys are thinking about opening up a new location, right?
Yeah, we're thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
And Teddy, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us your whole life story in 5 seconds. Go!
I'm a wanderer on a life mission over the past 6 years. Bit of a journey.
Executed.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, seriously, tell us a little bit about who you are, man.
Well, I am local, born and raised in Elk Grove. And,
okay.
Grew up in Elk Grove, and I discovered Baguettes, when I stumbled in there as a salesman trying to sell them a software online ordering system. And fell in love with them immediately, and quickly found out that Baguettes was Elk Grove's worst-kept secret.
That's right. That's actually so true, because everybody I ask, I'm like, hey, have you been to Baguettes? Like, what is Baguettes? Like, how do you not know about Baguettes? It's the best food in the world. And then how do you actually know Paula and Larry?
When I walked in there, it was actually my first day on the job with the tech company down in Venice Beach.
Oh.
We're selling an online ordering platform, and I just drove by. I said, wow, I never knew there was a sandwich place, back in that plaza.
Huh.
So I walk in and immediately fell in love with the place. I made the sale, so I was very
Right,
excited
okay.
to make my first sale, and I just fell in love with them from there.
You know what Paula told me about that? Or actually, I was there when you told Paula that she was your first sale, and she was like, "What? What do you mean I was your first sale?" Yeah, but that platform actually worked out. I used to order all my food with when I worked at my previous employer. We used to order all of our lunches through that platform that you sold them,
Right.
and get it all ordered and ready to go. But let's tell a little bit about the back history of how they started this restaurant, because from what I know about your parents, Alex, is they were corporate employees, 9-to-5ers, six-figure earners, comfortable living, raising a family, and then they just up and started a restaurant. Like,
Yeah,
the riskiest thing to do.
It was crazy. My dad had a 6-figure job. He's making good money. We had just moved into a new house, 5,000 square feet, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom. She took care of me, my brother, and my sister. And we were living the good life. And one day we got a little bit older, and she decided to go work for Brett and Debbie Bowman. They own the Boulevard Bistro.
Right,
and
high-end restaurant.
Yeah,
in Elk Grove.
very, very high-end restaurant in Elk Grove. And they had started this little place just to, bake their bread for the bistro and do a couple sandwiches here and there, but she never knew that it was going to turn into this whole business venture, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she started to find her passion through working for the Boulevard Bistro and working in the...
Yeah, they had always loved to cook. We watched, Emerald live every night.
Okay.
They loved him and just the cooking show. My dad would cook every night, cook very, very good dinners, and my mom would cook a lot too. She owned a catering business.
Okay.
When she was doing that out at my uncle's golf course.
Okay.
So she's not unfamiliar to the business, but this was a whole new area for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it makes sense. So, I mean, you guys really literally started from the bottom.
Yes.
And now you're here. So tell me a little bit about the cooking that she does do at home or at Baguettes. Like, what type of food is it, really?
It's honestly whatever she wants to make that day. She makes all of her own soups, salads. She really, really likes Mexican.
Okay,
she
interesting.
swears that she was born Mexican,
Is
and
that right?
She is the tiniest white lady you've ever seen, but she can cook some Mexican.
That is so funny. That's awesome.
Yeah, she loves Mexican. She loves all types of food, but we dabble in Italian, Greek every now and then. We do some Asian every now and then. So it's the sandwiches are a little bit of all of, we have a banh mi, we have a, holiday turkey. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you can't call it a deli. That's the hardest thing.
It's
like,
hard.
I try to describe it to somebody, and they're like, "Oh yeah, so it's like a delicatessen." Like, no, it's not like that at all. It's not like your cold cut, meats and your deli Subway type of sandwiches. In fact, most of your entrees are served hot or panini pressed. Mm-hmm. So they're mostly all handcrafted, and you guys are in the back making them. So it's hard to put it in a box. It really doesn't fit.
It's like going over your best friend's mom's house for dinner.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you just never know what you're going to get.
Yeah,
that home cooked meal.
Yeah.
Right, grassroots.
Yeah.
That's why I keep coming back. The thing about Baguettes is that it's so unique that there isn't anything else like it. And you guys are open for breakfast and you're open for lunch. And are you guys open for dinner or?
We tried doing somewhat of a dinner. The way we were doing it wasn't really working out, so we started integrating burgers into lunch and into the nighttime. So we do gourmet burgers. They're all 8 ounces, beef, short rib, and chuck. And
can you say that again? Like, these are not just normal burgers, okay?
Yeah.
Like, this is not like your ground beef that you get at the store. Like, what is it made out of?
Played in slow motion this time.
It's short rib, chuck, and I believe it is tri-tip or it's one
That's
other
steak type of meat,
steak
right?
type of meat, and it's all we hand pack the patties. They're 8 ounces each, and every burger has something different to it.
Right, like you guys have a jalapeno blackberry glaze.
Yes.
That is just to kill for.
We make that ourselves. We actually had a former employee, Tiffany. We love her, and she made that glaze, and we fell in love with it. Crunchy onions, Havarti cheese. And you don't pay $12 for just any burger, and that burger is something that you have to experience.
Absolutely, the bread is all handcrafted and all of that.
Yeah.
Everybody that I've taken to Baguettes, which I'm sure you guys have noticed, like I bring somebody in there new almost every week because I'm so excited to tell people about it.
Yeah.
it really is no vested interest for me. Can I just disclose that? Like, there's no, like, I don't get free meals there or anything. Like, I just take people there because I love it so much. But I always have them try the burger the first time. I'm like, if you're in the mood for a burger, we're going to Baguettes. That is what you're going to have. And you're going to order either what was it called? It wasn't the Tiffany special, but what's that blackberry jalapeno glaze one? It's like
We call it the blackberry burger
blackberry
now.
burger.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was the Tiffany burger, but
Okay.
yeah, she did that one, and it was awesome.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
It's unreal. All right. Well, hey, we're gonna come back here to pursuing your passion, dive into the meat and taters of this episode here in just a moment. But stay with us here on the Seeds to Success show. We'll see you back in a minute.
You're listening to the Seeds to Success show on Money 105.5 and the Money 105.5 mobile app.
Welcome back to the Seeds to Success show. I'm your host and Insurance 101 guy, Ben Godinez with Gateway Insurance Group. Thanks so much for staying with us here as we're diving into Baguettes in Elk Grove, the little restaurant that started out as a hole in the wall to now becoming one of the premier restaurants in all of Sacramento. Thank you guys for being here. We got Teddy in the studio. We've got Alex, the heir to Baguettes, and they were just telling us a little bit about what Baguettes is and what kind of food they serve. But I want to talk to you guys about really the education piece of this here today is pursuing your passion thing, because again, Paula and Larry were corporate professionals earning, a nice comfortable family income, and they just went out on a limb and started this business from scratch. 4 out of 5 businesses fail in the first 3 years, let alone restaurants is even a higher percentage. You guys are still here 5 years later and looking to grow. Talk to me about what makes you guys different.
Well, I think it's because my mom, Paula, she goes out every morning. She wakes up at 5 a.m. and she drops my brother off at school, and she goes to different places to buy the food that we prepare. So she goes to a grocery store, but we also do stop by our local strawberry stands, get the fresh vegetables, the fresh fruits. Wow. We like to support our local businesses as well. So, usually a lot of restaurants just get all of their, supplies from one, restaurant supply store. And we refuse to do that. We're different, so.
It's huge. I was talking to actually one of your reps here today while I was eating breakfast, having my breakfast sandwich in Baguettes. And one thing that he was mentioning to me that I thought was interesting about what you just said is supporting small businesses. There's a huge difference between when you go to like a Chili's or an Applebee's or one of these like mainstream restaurants and you go to a mom and pop or a small chain restaurant, whether it's, a small chain being like maybe McCooney, right? It's pretty much just here in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. But you guys handheld all of your food and you see the processes as from start to finish. You get the produce that's probably yesterday or within the last couple days, and then you prepare it. Whereas all these other restaurants, they order the same food, they just prepare it differently and put a different name on it. And then you're paying for the name. Mm-hmm. You pay more for a mainstream type of establishment than you might at even a mom and pop. So there's more nutrition in that. It supports families. It supports your local economy, your local city. But for me, I always try to support the small business because I know that you guys actually take better care of everything. Mm-hmm. And I don't just mean sanitation-wise. I mean, you guys physically are back there making the food. And so, Teddy, you're going to be actually working with them, training the staff in the future here, right?
Right.
So talk to me about what types of things you guys are going to be doing to implement and streamlining all this.
Well, I'm going to get in and really find out what Paula's desires are and her dreams, because all Baguettes is an artistic expression of her, of her deepest desires and dreams of what she wants to tell this world. That's why every single step of the process is handcrafted, selected by Paula, and ensure that every aspect of the restaurant, whether it's from food to the greeting that you receive when you walk into the door to the decorations, represents her authentic, unfiltered self.
That's right. So you guys are, when you're watching this video here in post-production, you guys are probably going to see some of the restaurant in the pictures, but all over the wall, you guys have these beautiful hand-painted paintings on the walls that depict her life. Can you like describe a couple of these pictures that are on the wall?
My favorite item in in the restaurant is actually her lunch pail that she carried when she was a kid.
What? I have never seen that. Where's that at?
Yeah, we actually have a wine rack up where the TV is held, and she has her dad's little fan that he kept on his desk for 40 years, and she has all of her lunch pails that she carried to elementary school. So she has a lot of items that represent who she is up there, and take a look next time you're in, and it's very unique.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned the paintings.
Yeah.
And any restaurant you go into, you can see generic paintings. But even these paintings, Paula took to heart, and she even painted her hens and her roosters.
Right.
You go in there, you think they're just a stand-in hen and rooster. No, they're actually hers.
They're actually ones that she has on her property that lay the eggs that you're eating on your breakfast sandwich.
Yeah,
exactly.
She hired the artist to paint those murals, and she had him come out to the house and look at the chickens she had. And she had her chickens painted.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's so unique. You guys offer a lot too. You guys have beer and wine. But it's not just your normal, like, typical Budweiser and Coors Light. Like, you guys actually have local beer, right?
Yeah, we support Berryessa. We actually had a night there every month that we did Paints and Pints. And our rep that came and did that actually moved to Berryessa. And so what she's doing now is she's selling beer. So we're supporting our local breweries and everything, and we also do order local bottled beer and stuff like that.
Right.
So
And the wine too is local, right?
Wine, we have McConnell, and that is local to Elk Grove as well. It's right off of the 99.
Right.
We have Brave Horse, which is out of Lodi, I believe.
Yeah.
We have a lot of local wines. We try to support our local businesses as much as we can because they do support us.
Yeah, I think that's what makes you guys unique. Teddy, talk to me about, again, you mentioned vision and her dream and how she's living that out. Like, talk to us a little bit about, like, how she created this or had this dream and then actually put it into reality.
Well, the toughest part about, pursuing your own seed of success and trying to grow that, you see that process in your head, and the toughest part about that is expressing it to other people and then showing them what that process looks like. That's what Paula's trying to do, is trying to show, how she grew from nothing and how every aspect kind of fits together. And when you're going and chasing your dreams, it never looks clear. You never have a clear idea of what it looks like. It's always foggy, and you just have to go and know, this is the feeling I feel inside me, this little seed. There's something to it. I'm going to trust this. I'm just going to go. And of course, our vision is going to change as it goes, but the overall vision isn't going to change. But the steps that we use to get there, navigate there, do. I don't know about you, but if I was able to plan out my whole life, I would get things wrong because I'm growing smarter every day. So every day I'm reevaluating my vision and taking into consideration the things I learned that day. How can I use this to get me one step closer to achieving this and expressing it to the people that I love?
Wow. That's so beautifully articulated. I'm sure.
Thank you.
And I'm sure Jen Barna, who will be with us in the fourth segment, she'll be touching on that a little bit more. She's over there nodding and taking notes to everything that you just said, which is really why we're doing this show is to we're trying to get those ideas out of people's heads and onto paper and into action. Right? It's inspiration, education, action, and you guys, Baguettes is the living result of that, of pursuing her passion. Talk to me a little bit about, we talked about like the food and what you guys offer and whatnot, but talk to us about the experience. Like, what would you want a customer to walk away with after they've come into Baguettes for the first time?
I would want the customer to walk away with satisfaction and the feeling that they're going to tell everybody they know, because we do work hard to bring you the freshest food that you can find in Elk Grove. Elk Grove is full of fast food restaurants, and it's hard to find a place, a mom and pop shop. There's diners and whatnot, but it's hard to find a good sandwich spot. So we want the customer to walk away with just a great experience overall.
And on top of that as well, I want every customer to realize that they matter. When they walk in through the door, you are connected. You are a part of this dream, and we are involving the community to make this dream happen for Paula. Everybody in the community of Elk Grove has a part in this. That's 100% for sure.
That's true. You guys were actually at the what was it called? The wine festival or whatever.
The Taste of Elk Grove.
Taste of Elk Grove.
Yes.
That's right. So what did you guys represent there, or if somebody was there, what were you guys offering?
So we go every year. Myself and my mom were there, and we make good food for people that want to come out and see what their local community has to offer as far as food, non-chain restaurants. So we have a lot of good food out there, and we just tell people about what we do if they haven't been in, and if they have, we thank them for their support.
Yeah. I know my my cousin was there, Ethan, and if he's listening right now, he'll probably be laughing because he came home very happy that he went to the Taste of Elk Grove to hang out with Paula. If you know what I mean. Lots of wine, lots of beer, lots of food, and lots of good times.
Absolutely.
So if you didn't go, you got to go again this next year. What other events are you guys going to be a part of? Are you guys going to be a part of what's this new one, the Elk Grove Brew Fest, and there's some other eating type of festivals and whatnot going on this summer? Do you guys ever participate in these types of things?
Well, yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of different people come to us with the events they're doing, so we try to make every single event that we can. I know we do the taste every year, and we also do the spotlight. I think that they do that every year as well, but it might not be until the fall. We just try to go to every single event that we can, and if we're invited, we'll be there.
Cool. And you guys do catering too, right? So you can do big events.
Oh, absolutely. Events like the Spotlight and the Taste, we voluntarily go just to get our name out there. We bring little samples of stuff that we do, and we also offer catering for any type of event. No event is too big, no event is too small. So if you need boxed lunches for a couple, you and your coworkers, we deliver. We do party platters, everything like that. Weddings. We have a big, huge mobile smoker that we bring out to events.
Yes.
Yeah, we do tri-tip chicken, everything that you can think of.
Okay.
So
good. Well, before we go to a commercial break, I just want to reiterate. Give me you guys your contact information for somebody that's tuning on the radio right now, because they won't be seeing it on the video.
So it's Baguette's Deli. It's 8351 Elk Grove Boulevard, Suite 100, and our phone number is 916-685-4587.
Okay, cool. All right, we're going to dive into the third segment in just a moment, so stay with us here on the Seeds to Success show with Baguettes.
Join the journey. This is the Seeds to Success show on Money 105.5.
Welcome back to the Seeds to Success show. I am your Insurance 101 guy, Ben Godinez with Gateway Insurance Group. Take the if out of life and learn to live. Give us a call at 510-861-1541. We're sitting here with Baguettes in Elk Grove. Thank you guys so much for being here and giving us your insights. We appreciate every word of it. We're going to dive back into you guys in just a moment, but I do want to give you guys what you've all been waiting for, your Insurance 101 guy segment. The bane of my existence lately has been SR22s. People needing SR22s and forgetting that they need it on their insurance policy. And so I want to talk to you guys about being safe on the road and avoiding DUIs, as we were on the commercial break just talking about some margaritas after the show. The pain from a DUI lasts for 10 years. 10 years it stays on your record, okay? One false move and you're pulled over, and I don't care if you've had one drink or you've had 10, you're getting the same amount of punishment unless you get into an accident and hurt somebody, and then you're going to jail and getting your car repossessed. But I want to talk to our listeners about this because whether you are in your 20s or 30s and you might make these silly decisions, or you're a parent that has someone that is of age to drink or even not of age to drink, it becomes a problem when it comes to insurance because there's so much that goes on. So first of all, I want to give you a little rundown of what occurs. So you get pulled over, you get your DUI, they take your car, they usually give you a ride home in the nice cop car in the back in the hard plastic. You might spend the night in the drunk tank unless you're a minor, and then you'd have to get picked up by your parents unless they send you to jail, which they have the authority to do. So you spend the night in jail. Minimum 30-day impound on your car, which is usually $1,500 or so at an impound lot. And then you await your notice in the mail from the court that asks you to appear in court to take care of this usually $5,000 ticket. So then you go to court and you plead your case. You usually plead guilty, and you pay that $5,000 fine or whatever the judge settles on. Could range from $2,500 to, I guess I've heard of $10,000, depending on the violation, if it's a second time or you're in a specific county or something. So you pay your dues, and then your license is suspended for 30 days after that. So you can't drive. Heaven forbid you drive, and then you get driving on suspended, which is another 2 points. But on your insurance, as soon as the conviction date starts from that court date, 10 years from that point, you'll be paying surcharges on your insurance no matter what car you get, no matter where you live. It follows you everywhere you go. So let me give you an example. 1 point on your record is 25% more on your annual premium. 25% is 1 point. Then the second point is usually 40% above that. Then above that is 75%. Can you guess how high 10 points goes? It's astronomical. I don't care if you have state minimum liability and no full coverage. It's very expensive, and I'm dealing with that. I've dealt with that 3 times this week, folks that have DUIs, and it happens to more people than you think. So then it actually drops down, by the way, to give you an idea. The first 3 years, it's 10 maximum points, and then after 3 years, it drops down to about 2 points. Depending on the company, they might charge you more, but DMV-wise, it's 2 points in California. And then that stays on until 7 years, and then drops down to 1 point. And during that time, the first 5 years, typically, you have an SR22. And this is a state mandate, basically, that allows you to drive on a probationary period for lack of the full explanation. But you have to add it onto your insurance. Otherwise, if you don't tell your insurance company that you need the SR22, because the courts may say it lasts 3 years, it may say 5 years. It all depends on where you got that DUI. Because if you're out of state, it's going to vary. You need to tell your insurance company you have an SR22, because then the insurance company or the broker, like myself, sends that to DMV, which shows them proof of insurance. If you don't have an SR22 but have insurance, and they find out, your license is immediately suspended. And guess what happens if you're required to drive for your job? For example, you're a truck driver or you have a company vehicle, and DMV sends the company usually your copy of your MVR because they're verifying that. They send you home. They send you home because you don't have a valid driver's license. Now you're missing out on work because you didn't tell your insurance company that you need an SR22. And this happened over the weekend. So it's painful. So you lose out on money, and it stays on your record. So most people that I see that have DUIs, it was before Uber came out, before Lyft. So it's as simple as a $20 Uber ride home. If you don't Uber home, you could be paying the price. So make sure that the next time you go out drinking, either get an Uber or get a sober driver to get you home, because I don't want to deal with you and your DUIs. I hate charging you $3,000 a year or whatever it is for your insurance policy. It's painful to me as it is to you, because I hate it, because it causes me more headache, because then I have to add on all these extra things and go through all these different companies. I'd rather put you with a better company and only, charge you a third of that. So get an Uber. That's my message. Insurance 101 guy. Follow me on social media, Insurance 101 guy on Twitter, or Ben.Godinez on Instagram, and on YouTube, Ben Godinez, or the Insurance 101 guy playlist. All right, let's get back into baguettes. Enough about insurance and this stupid DUIs. All right, so you guys talk to me about, I have my third segment here in front of me, pursuing your dream, the sacrifice. I want to hear what sacrifices that you guys have had to make, because it all sounds like flowers and money when you're a successful business. But Alex, you've been there since the beginning. Talk to me about what it's taken to actually, put this dream into reality.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to say. I personally, every time I try to take a class or take a couple classes at my school, because I'm trying to be a business management major, but I've had to drop 3 or 4 semesters over the past, not 3 or 4, but maybe like 2 or 3 semesters of college, full semesters, to go to work full time. Yeah, something happens, my mom needs me. So there's a lot of sacrifices in my education to make this business work. I wouldn't do it if she wasn't such an amazing person. My mom has sacrificed every single day of her year. She gets a day off maybe once a month if she's lucky. My dad works very hard. He has another job now, but he was working for us full time as well. It's there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into a family business, because the family is no longer a family. It is what it is, a family business. So your whole entire family life is flipped upside down. You're talking about the business every second of your life. It's your whole life revolves around that family business now. Right. There's no more vacations, no more, family vacations. It's a lot different.
We know what they say. If you want to be truly free, you have to pay in loneliness. And as I mentioned earlier in this show, in the intro, I've been on a journey myself for the past 6 years, which has brought me along the same path as Baguettes now. Right. But I spent 2 years bicycling around the United States with no money. And then the past year, I've spent hitchhiking from the Middle East to Europe. So I've definitely experienced that as well, trying to find this freedom and this freedom to freely express myself and what I truly want to create in this reality. There are some lonely days because, when you're pursuing these seeds that you feel these intuitions for, no one's going to understand you. No one's going to really get you. There's going to be very few people that you meet on your journey that are going to say, yeah, I see what's inside you and you need to keep pursuing this. So that's where the loneliness comes in, when you're not able to relate to people. When you truly set free from the pack, break the conventionality, the conventional way of living, not many people are going to be able to relate to you, but keep going.
That's right. That's right. Well, it is a sacrifice, and the goal is hopefully to get to the point where Paula, at least, can delegate, her workers to effectively run the daily operations of the business. Because really, right now, she's being the sales and marketing team. She's being the cook in the background. She's being the hands and feet of the business, so to speak, the trainer and developer. So already she's hired you, Teddy, to be that trainer. And so she's now relieved that part of the responsibility to you and entrusted you into developing that side of the business of training good and quality employees that, are going to be responsible and treated as their own.
Right.
And so eventually, hopefully, she'll be able to pull away a little bit, and Alex, you'll be running the business.
Absolutely.
And then you'll be able to hire, train, and develop other people that will have that same passion. And that's really the key to running a successful business, I think, is creating more than just a job, but creating a legacy that lives on beyond your years. Because what happens is we start a business and then we just create a job. We don't actually create something that we can walk away from. And I can tell that Paul is doing that.
Well, to drop another quote, one of my favorites as well is great leaders, they don't incite more followers. Great leaders create more leaders.
That's right.
And that's what we want to do with our employees, come in to show them that they too have this seed inside them in whatever avenue of expression they want to create for themselves too.
That's right. I have a couple of notes here that I've written down the last couple of days thinking about this show. And the first one is, ideas are worthless unless we act on them. Earl Nightingale from The Strangest Secret talks about that. Write out your passion or your dream. Write out what the first step might be to achieve that goal, even if you think it's impossible. Write it out, and you have effectively put that into motion. And that's the first step, and then all of a sudden you've literally created your dream on paper, and that's the first step, is to put that dream down on paper, and you're moving towards that. And then it's like, wait a minute, that actually might be possible. You never know what the universe might bring into your life that you couldn't even know was possible. So we're going to leave you with that right now in the third segment, and we'll be right back here on the Seeds to Success Show. Stay tuned.
The Seeds to Success Show on Money 105.5, the Money 105.5 mobile app, and online at money1055.biz.
Welcome back to the Seeds to Success Show. I am your host and Insurance 101 guy, Ben Godinez with Gateway Insurance Group. Thanks so much for tuning in here today with Baguettes and Pursuing Your Dream. We are here now with Jen Barna, back in the studio. Welcome back, my dear.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. The life coach of Seeds to Success. She's here to give us some wisdom here. We're going to give her 4 to 5 minutes here to inject in our lives some wisdom, as we're kind of calling them Jen's Jewels of Wisdom. So that's what I like. And this is going to be a segment ongoing here on the Seeds to Success show. So Jen, give us some wisdom, would you?
I will. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. So my mentor is Bob Proctor, and Bob says that once you make the decision, you will find all the people, the resources, and ideas you need every time, not sometimes, every time. So now the secret sauce to this is in the all-in mindset. When you decide to pursue your goal, your dream, with the faith, desire, and persistence needed to make it happen, you have the all-in mindset. So talk about food for thought. Any decisions, especially big decisions in life, work best with this all-in mindset. And what does that mean? It means that it's our attitude, it's our habits, it's the decisions that we make on a daily basis to keep moving us forward. This past weekend, my husband and I visited a friend of ours who's a very successful developer. He is the perfect example of living with that all-in mindset. Friends had been persuading him for years to try yoga. But his interest and attention just hadn't taken root. So looking for a different outlet to his business stressors, he finally gave in to a trusted friend and finally tried yoga. He absolutely loved it. One time, right? One class. Right. Knowing he would never have the time with his busy schedule to go out and make the effort to go somewhere, he decided to put a studio in a building he already owned, right? Still started with an idea and a decision to do it. This type of business was very new for him, and he needed people who knew what they were doing. Reaching out as a good student to those who knew more than him about the industry, some he'd even known since childhood, they connected him to the right people, and things started to fall into place. Literally 9 months later, last week, that spark of the idea, making the decision acting on it, he has now expanded his repertoire into the yoga business. Hearing this story, watching the birth of an idea turn into its physical form, was a great example of how we should go about taking action to get into this all-in mindset. So regardless of the resources at our disposal, you can take my friend's example with this all-in a mindset and apply it to your big idea. Today, we heard from Teddy and Alex about her parents pursuing their dream of leaving corporate America for a dream of going into something they were very passionate about. And it shows in how they run their business, from the authentic decor to how they treat their customers to how they prepare their food. It all brings a high quality and a sense of community to everything that they do, which has led, I believe, to their success. So regardless of the size of the dream out there, the decision to pursue it with this all-in mindset makes all the difference. It's been said on average that the average person makes about 35,000 decisions every single day.
Wow.
Big or small, each decision with action is leading you to the life you will be living in the next minute, the next day, the next year. So as Tony Robbins says, it is in the moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. So think of yourself as a great decision maker. Even if you're not, just fake it till you make it. Then go practice being one. So when we get in with the all-in mindset with every decision you make, you will start to see your life change.
That's right.
I call this the 2-minute mindset with Jen Barna, helping you get out of your mind and into your life. Be good, do good, have good, and give good in all you do. Your life will thank you for it.
Wow. Can I get an applause for that? Everybody in the studio right now? That was awesome. I'm fired up. I just want to leave right now and go act on my decisions. That is so awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Jen. What I got from that was the all-in mindset of when you have a decision, they all tie in together. You have a decision. When you're faced with a decision, just act on it. It doesn't have to be the perfect plan that is the once and done, end-all, be-all, right? You know what I've noticed? When I'm choosing my clothes for the day, I don't want to say my outfit because I really don't care that much, but sometimes I sit there for 5 minutes and I go, oh, well, I could go with this and with that. I could go with this and with that. And then sometimes I just snap out of it and I go, who cares?
Make a decision.
It doesn't matter. Make a decision. I just wasted 5 minutes, which is time is money. So constantly reminding ourselves that we need to make a decision and act on it because it'll move us closer to the end result. So if you're going down a street in a community and you make a right turn instead of a left-hand turn, well, that's okay. You just need to make 2 more left-hand turns to get back on path. It doesn't mean that you're going the wrong way forever and it's a one-way street. It just means that you may need to go around the tree, or it may need, go around the crash on the freeway. So
Teddy said it great earlier, is when we are working down that path towards what we want, we don't have to have all the steps in place. A lot of people stop themselves. They won't take action because they feel like they have to have all the steps. Taking the first step generally leads to showing you where the next step needs to be taken. So trust yourself.
That's right. Something that I learned from Think and Grow Rich and Napoleon Hill was the story of the warrior, the commander that led his troops into battle on an island, by ship, and they landed on shore, They got their troops in formation, and he said, "Troops, look behind me." And he set the ships on fire. They're burning. And he goes, "Those ships mean no retreat. There is no plan B. We win or we die." And that's the mindset that a business owner has to have. I've noticed that when certain businesses start, they have a plan B. And they're like, well, if this doesn't work, I'll go back to my usual job. And that's perfectly fine. But you're accepting right then and there that that other job is going to be
There's an out for
your
you.
job. Yeah, exactly. So you have a retreat pattern. You literally just spoke it into reality that you're going to end up working at that other job eventually. When you don't go all in, you need to burn all ships. You need to act on the decision, and you will. And if you commit to it, you will be successful. And that's what Paula has done. Paula and Larry have done with Baguettes. You guys went all in. They quit their jobs, the safe, secure job with probably benefits, and their family dependent on them, to pursue their goal and their dream. And guess what? Because they burned all ships, it is now growing and thriving because of that.
Absolutely.
And created a new lifestyle for themselves. It's a different way of living. They have to live and make different decisions now than they made before.
That's right.
So.
Baguettes is not only just it's not a deli. It doesn't even fit into a box. It's a restaurant, but it's a place to bring your family and friends. Like how Starbucks has created the coffee meeting a popular thing, Baguettes is bridging it from coffee to food, I think, because it's a relaxed environment. Oh, and another thing that I haven't noticed or haven't brought up yet is that everything in there is handmade. Yeah. Everything in there. Talk to us about that, Alex. Like, I'm talking about the chairs and the bar and the tables. Like, they're all handmade.
Yeah. I mean, the food, we get in every morning, make all the bread, we do all of our meats, we do everything there. So that's all handmade. But the tables and the bar chairs are made by this local guy in Wilton, Darren Moore, and he made them out of wine barrels.
Yeah.
So, the tables are all hardwood top, and he made those all himself, and it took months, but it was quality work.
What a great personal touch.
Yeah,
I know.
absolutely.
Because, and again, going back to Teddy's point, like her dreams are depicted within the restaurant. She loves wine. So she made wine barrels, like this, really like the foundation, literally, of the restaurant. I took some pictures. I hope we can integrate them here in the post production here. But the chairs actually are like the legs of them are the wine barrels, and they're wrapped with the metal.
Yeah.
Lining around it. The tabletops are all handmade and hand polished. Anyway, it's so impressive, and it's impressive to bring clients and customers or whatever to lunch there, and that's why I bring people there every week.
It's almost like gathering around the big kitchen table. They get very personal, very homey, very inviting, it sounds.
Yeah, because, the kitchen is the central hub of the house, right? And that's where I feel like I'm bringing people. It's kind of a place to just, talk, and there's an outdoor patio and stuff where, you can enjoy the nice weather and all that. But it feels like you're at home. And you're cooking for them.
Yeah, and it's an open kitchen, too, so we don't want to fool anyone. We let everyone see what we're doing. There's a window into our back grill. You can see us make all the burgers if you want, and you can see us do all of the sandwiches there. You can see us plate your food, and you can see it come out if you want to. So,
right.
We invite people to come and watch us do what we love, and see their food being made.
I'm sure that sharing that passion, that love for what you do is definitely, it goes into the food.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So some of the things that we just took away from this is, for one, they started from grassroots with family values, quality, and the idea of healthy living and uniqueness. And it's turned into an amazing business model, I think, for other restaurant owners to be unique, to be different, to make it your own. Put your dreams down on paper and make it happen. Take the first step. Because it started out as a hole-in-the-wall place. It got so busy where there's 30 people waiting in line, and having Teddy sell them the integrated system to, place orders in advance was the only way that you guys can get the orders out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And you guys were so successful at doing that it has now become, it's going to become, I think, small chain restaurant, and you can go as big as you want to grow. But I think it's going to be like the McCoonies, where it's a staple in every major city. You've got a baguette. Where's your next location that you're looking at obtaining, possibly?
I don't want to.
Okay,
I don't want to say
Sorry,
exactly, but we're looking closer in between Rancho Cordova and Wilton. You know,
Yeah,
kind of in
okay.
between that little area.
Off of Grant Line or something?
Yeah, off of Grant Line and
maybe.
Sheldon a little bit. So I don't want to jinx anything, but
Yeah.
we've had a lot of good things happen. Every time we've seen the realtor that's showing that particular building, we have a customer that comes up to my mom, Paula, and they rant and rave about baguettes in front of my mom and the realtor.
That's great.
So we think it's meant to be, but we're still working on it. So I don't want to make any promises to our customers.
Right, okay, of course.
Always think about us in the north and the east too. So
Right,
Yeah.
Exactly. Carmichael Fair too.
There we go.
Great. Well, let's tell them how they can follow you guys on social media and the website and all that stuff.
Yeah, so we have our website, baguettesdeli.com. We have our Facebook under Baguettes Deli. We do have an Instagram. I think that is Baguettes Elk Grove. And we're working on a Twitter. Haven't had much experience with Twitter. My mom is a little bit social media,
Illiterate, right?
illiterate, but I'm teaching her, so
right, cool.
we might have a Twitter soon. But yeah, we have all those major ones. Still working on Snapchat. Not sure about that
Okay.
yet.
Don't worry, I'm Snapchatting for you every time I
Yeah.
eat
Okay.
that.
Awesome. Yeah.
Follow me, Ben Godinez. And then Jen, how do people follow you? Because I'm sure everybody's fired up and wants to know more about how they can work with you.
that is great. They can find me online, Facebook, Jennifer Barna, Jen Barna Coaching. Email jenbarnasuccess@gmail.com.
Okay, excellent. And this music is brought to you by Paloma Rush, Paloma_Rush. Follow her on Instagram and Twitter. She's amazing, and look for her in her productions coming soon. Follow me, Insurance 101 Guy, and follow Seeds to Success on Instagram and Twitter as well. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you back here next time on the Seeds to Success show.
Get back to work because a dream in your heart's worth